Hello, my lovely friends. It's Marta. Welcome back. Today I have a project which is a part of my design team inspiration. As you may know, I work with the Art Story company from Poland, which is run by Karolina Bińkowska, who is the creator behind those digital papers. She also have in her store you can find some stencil and chipboards and lots of other things as well. And she recently launched this new Provence collection, which is all about the lavender and this beautiful green purple color tone. And I was inspired by this collection, and I've decided to create a card, but I wanted to do it slightly different way. Normally, when you receive the card, you actually open it up, and I thought I'm gonna do a card in a pocket. So instead of it creating the regular card base, I will create my card base as a pocket, and then the card itself will be held into this pocket. To make my project a little bit more sturdier, I am working on a piece of the chipboard, which I cut to the size, and now I am adhering this beautiful greenish color paper on top of it. I cut my paper slightly smaller, so I will have this lovely border all around. This is something I like to do from time to time. That way the project looks a little bit more like layered. And even though I have just a plain layer of the chipboard and only a paper on top, having this little border all around helped me to create kind of a layer look effect. Now, I don't want to have this border to be in original color. I am blending it with the design paper by using this brush corduroy ink pad. This is the Distress Oxide ink, and it has the same color tone as the little splotches on this design paper, so I thought they will be matching up perfectly if I will just go over the edges and add a little bit of the brown tone. Here I'm having one of the stencil, which is also designed by Karolina, and all the supplies I'm using here you will find down below in the description area. The only one thing I have to warn you is that the website is run in Polish, so for those of you, my friends, who doesn't speak Polish, you may find it a little bit more difficult to navigate in a website, but I hope you can use that Google Translate option, and hopefully that will translate the page for you if you would like to have a look on it. Now, instead of a regular texture paste, I'm using the instant filler, and my friends, this is a cheapest equivalent to the texture paste, and it's working the same. It cost the fraction of the price, but having it in this large tube, I can reuse it over and over and over again, and this like 1 or 2 pound worth instant filler will last me for a very, very long time. The only one thing I have to warn you is that you really have to be careful and wash your stencil very thoroughly straight after you finish with it. So that's the only one thing to remember. Now, once my little design was dry, this pattern which I use, this music note stencil, I've dried it, and then I very roughly wrap over it with the my embossing ink pad, and I've put some golden embossing powder. The effect I'm going after here is more kind of a distress look. I wasn't very careful to color this raised area or anything like that. I just wanted to add that splash of the gold color just so I could create some interest to the background. Then I took some lavender oxide ink spray, and I create couple of splotches. Some of them I use some water, and I help them to run over the page even more, just so I could have this splotchy rustic distress look on this page, which I really, really like. Now, I've printed myself another piece of the cardstock, which is this beautiful house with the row of lavender in front of it. And this is what I'm gonna use to create my pocket. I also have this oval shape die and this lovely like a border one, which I'm gonna use to create the pocket. I am trying to see where would I like my design to go, and then I am cutting it with this lovely like a arched die. And once I did that, I am placing my paper on top of the scoring board and I'm scoring up to the cutting edges. Like I can see where's the edging line is finished, and then I score on both ends, and then I score a little piece from the bottom as well. Once I will cut, you will see this shape, and this will help me to create this little pocket. I chop off the remaining area from one side because I don't need it as much. The pocket doesn't have to be as long. Now I am chopping under the angle all these three flaps which I have here, and I am chopping away those little corner bits as well. And once I fold it back, you can see how easy it is to create this type of the pocket. And what is important, you can actually adjust the size to accordingly to your need or to the size of the dice which you currently own. By the way, this whole piece, this green color piece of the chipboard, is roughly, I think it's like a A5 size. I would say, I'm not sure if it's exactly 15 centimeters, maybe like 16 by 21, but it's just something, just to roughly tell you the size I'm working on. Now I add a little bit of the brown color ink just to darken up the edges. This will help to create this dimension, and I will be adhering my pocket to the to this board which I create early. Now I was planning to use some red tape, but I've somewhere misplaced the one which I had, and I borrowed one from my husband workshop, which is this big chunky roll of the red tape, which I really like. The only one trouble is that you have to cut when in the same space. Those crafty tapes, they're coming very narrow, so they're ready to go. But it's just took me a second, and the red tape is really helping to hold this pocket really well, and especially that I'm gonna be tucking my card inside. Now I'm gonna be creating the focal point, and I want this oval shape. That this is the hot of the press die. It's very old one. I've got it for many years and I've been using it over and over again, and I thought this is gonna be a nice as a focal point for the card. Now I want to create this design to be a little bit more sturdier, so it's gonna be holding the composition. So for that, I am taking additional piece of the same cardboard. This is like compressed cardboard, like a beer mat. If you ever go to the pub and you had the drink and you've got this little coaster, they are made from those compressed cardstock, which is very sturdy, but it's very thin. You can buy them online. I was ordering mine from eBay, but you can find them on Amazon or different stores. If you look online, you will find it. But a pizza box or a cereal box, anything you have like a little bit of the cardboard, it will work exactly the same. The only one thing with working with those chipboards is that they are plain. So if I want to use them like on this board, I have this nice plain piece to play with, rather than have the printed element from like a cereal box or something. Now here you could see the trick I used to show me where exactly I need to add my adhesive. I put the same die on front of it, and then I've marked the line from the back, so I'll know exactly where do I need to put my adhesive, so it will stay in the exact place and there is less chance for the glue to ooze out from underneath the pocket and glue the whole thing together. Now I printed the design paper, and that was this one of the design was A4 size, but I've printed it at A5 two pieces together, so it was this large damask pattern. And I've printed both ways, like two A5 size pages and then 2 on the inside, and that way I create myself ready to go card base, which is already dressed up, and I don't need to put any additional decorative paper on top of it because it's already pre-printed. Now I am checking how much I want this piece to sticking out from my pocket, and I am just trimming it to the sides, just slightly smaller. I think it went in overall like 12 by 18, I would say, something like that. I'm not really focusing much on measuring things when I'm creating because I usually work with the help of the pencil and my guillotine, and I'm very rarely focusing on having those extra measurements. I cut the piece of the cardstock which I'm gonna be gluing inside, so that will be the space where you can write the message on the inside of the card, and then I'm using 2 pieces on the front. My frontal composition on this card base, this little one which will be inside, it has to remain very flat because I will be tackling it behind this oval shape piece. I just want to make sure that nothing will catch here, so that's why I'm gonna be creating a fairly flat composition on the top of this card. And to make it look more cohesive with the rest of the elements, I am doing the same thing on all of them, which is going over the edges with this brush corduroy ink. This is something I like to do on my elements from time to time when I want everything to look like a one set or something. This is the technique you can use. You can just grab a piece of the sponge or finger dabber or something and go over your elements either with brown ink for a vintage look, or maybe blue, purple, whatever color composition you're working on. You can kind of bring that color more by going over the edges of your element. I am adhering the glue to the back side of these elements, and I'm making sure I go exactly right up till the edges, so nothing is sticking out. There's nothing to catch when I'm gonna be tackling card in and out. And you can see here I'm just checking how is it looks like, and I love this combination, this lavender purple, a little bit of the brown, and this deep green color is just looking lovely. Here I have the bunch of the element because this collection, the paper collection, is also coming with additional ephemera pieces which you can print and use. And because I use the brown on the card, I am now adding a little dash of the brown to the elements as well. To help me build my composition, I like to use this florist sizzle. This is just like a little artificial hay kind of a thing. It's just coming in a packet, and you can check your local florist shop or eBay if you would like to buy one. I think this is just a nice filler for every composition, plus it's providing this little bit of the cushioning. I have this lovely window element, and I back it up with the piece of the cardboard so that will be more stiff. And now I am working with my composition around it. I have this beautiful lady which is just turning her face towards the sunshine, I would say. So I'm just placing her right beside the window, so it looks like she's looking through the window. She's all dreamy, looking on this beautiful open area with the lavender field. I'm also using a couple of the chipboards. These are also from the same Art Story shop, and I will give you all the links down below if you would like to check them. But see what you have, see what elements, papers, and collections you already own, and maybe try to use up first. Or if you'd like to purchase the collection, all the links are down below as well. Now here I'm just filling up the spaces with the little lavender pieces, and I wanted to use this string bow. Now I have this natural string, and then this like a nylon cord for jewelry, and I couldn't decide which one of them shall I use, so I've decided to mix them both together. And oh my gosh, I really like it. I thought it's gonna be too much, but it's right enough, and I quite like it. Now, lastly, to cover up my bow, I am adding 2 additional elements like this little lavender, and then there is this little images of the pearls which I am adding here and there, couple of them just to dress up my card. I hope you enjoyed this quick card inspiration. I hope it sparks some joy, and you're gonna be playing in your craft room, creating this pocket card, and create your own version. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. If you enjoy it, please don't forget to give a like, to write down something in a comment. Maybe just say hi, let me know where are you watching from, or if you like lavender, what's your favorite color combination. I would love to hear from you. Lastly, I'm gonna add a little piece of the sentiment here. I have this printable sentiments which are in Polish, and for this particular card, the sentiment I choose, it says like a celebrate this moment, because I think this is such a nice thought. Like, when you look on a card and we've got this beautiful dreamy lady, I thought this is a right sentiment to add on this card. So that's gonna be my inspiration. This was the project made for the design team, as I've mentioned, and I'm playing here with the elements which I received through my collaboration with the Art Story company. I hope you enjoy it. And once again, if you create the card based upon my inspiration, please don't forget to share it on our Facebook group, which is called Drop of Inspiration. I am sending you all a warm hugs, and I wish you fabulous day. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.